Today on Northern Revolutions, I'm going to do something weird. I'm going to do a whole video about CDs. Stay tuned. Hey, vinyl community, welcome to Northern Revolutions. I'm Rob. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. Like I said in the intro, I'm going to do something a little strange today. I'm going to do a whole video about CDs. For those of you that watch my channel, know that I'm not a big CD fan. I'm not like a snob that says, I don't like CDs because they're CDs. It doesn't appeal to me. I've always been a record guy. I bought CDs in the 90s because most of what I wanted wasn't available on CD, but I've always been a vinyl guy. So I rarely talk about CDs on my channel. I barely bought any CDs in 15 years, but I have some. We're going to talk about them today. A guy by the name of Kostis has put together a CD tag for 2023. I'll leave a link to his channel so you can check it out, but I thought, yeah, I've got a bunch of CDs, so I'm going to run down the 20 questions and show you some of the CDs that I never show on my channel. Okay, so number one is to show a 2022 new release or reissue CD that we bought. Only bought one, and it's this. This is the Fleetwood Mac alternate box set, which came out on Black Friday Record Store Day. This was also put out on vinyl. I couldn't afford it. These albums were released on vinyl year over the last number of record store days. So this is all of them collated into a set. I should show you what it looks like on the inside. It's got alternate Fleetwood Mac, alternate Rumors, alternate Tusk, alternate Live, alternate Mirage, and alternate Tango in the Night. I got this on the cheap because I couldn't afford the vinyl one. And the nice thing about it is I can digitize this and put it on my iPod. So, number two is to show the last CD that we bought. I only bought 3 CDs in all of last year, including the Fleetwood Mac box set. But this was the most recent that I snagged off eBay. This is a CD, Moxie Fruvis. It's their album Bargainville, which came out in 1993. I had this on cassette. Moxie Fruvis is a cappella group from Toronto. They had a big hit with King of Spain. They're kind of sort of political satire kind of stuff. Of note, Murray Foster from this band went on to be the bass player for Great Big Sea, and Gian Gomeshi went on to be a fantastic radio host of a show called Q on the CBC. Unfortunately, his career was prematurely ended due to sexual misconduct allegations he was ultimately proven not guilty in court, but that was the end of his career. Number 3 is to show the first CD we bought. I remember buying this vividly. This is Eric Clapton's Unplugged from 1992. I remember watching this on TV and saying, I've got to get this. This was my first CD. Number 4 is to show a DIY CD release. I'm going to show this album here. Blake Preston, Road Trip Radio. Blake Preston, I like to say, is my brother from another mother. He's my best friend. This is his second album that he self-recorded and self-released. And I remember him assembling these in our apartment living room. So, Blake Preston, Road Trip Radio. This would have been like 2004, maybe 3, something like that. Number 5 is show the last CD that you played on your stereo. I very rarely play CDs, but I brought this out the other week. Lisa Marie Presley. This is her album To Whom It May Concern. It's actually not a bad album. Obviously, I played it the day that she died just because. Number 6 is to show a various artists compilation. So I'm going to show this. This is Pine Ridge. It's called An Open Letter to Alan Rock, Songs for Leonard Peltier. This is a collection of Canadian artists that put out this CD to give money to the Defense Fund for Leonard Peltier, who they believe is innocent of the murder that he is in prison for. Some of the very prominent Canadian artists on here: Sarah McLachlan, The Tragically Hip, Blue Rodeo, Ashley McIsaac, The Skydiggers, Molly Johnson, Michelle McAdory from Crash Vegas. This actually is a very hard to find CD. Number 7 is show a best of CD. So I'm going to show this. This is the Downchild Blues Band. This is called A Case of the Blues. It's their best of. The Downchild Blues Band is Donnie Walsh. It's his band. They're from Toronto. This band was the inspiration for the Blues Brothers that Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi made famous on Saturday Night Live. And these guys are still around, and they're phenomenal. Number 8, show a box set. This is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. This is Live Anthology. It's a 4-disc set, obviously of live material, and in typical Tom Petty fashion, this is incredible. Number 9 is to show a CD that contains an artist's entire discography. I don't have any CDs for bands that only had an album or two that fits on one disc, so I can't answer that one. Number 10, show a CD in a cardboard sleeve. This is a band called the Skydiggers from Toronto. I've talked about them before. It's actually a 4 CD. This is the deluxe version of their album Northern Shore. As you can see the tour poster right there. This came out in, I don't know, around like 2010 maybe, 2011. The Skydiggers are a fantastic roots rock band from Toronto. Buddy that I went to school with, Noel Webb, is the drummer. I've seen these guys a million times. So this is, while this looks sort of DIY, this is actually put out on their label Leighton Recordings, but it's done on cardboard and it looks kind of cool. Number 11 is to show a CD single. So I'll show this one. This is Bryan Adams, Back to You. This is from his Unplugged album, which came out in 97. Back to You is on here, that's the single. And it's backed with Hey Elvis, and then a live medley of Can't Stop This Thing We Started, and It Ain't a Party If You Can't Come Around, also from the Unplugged session. I wish his Unplugged would make an appearance on vinyl, but anyway, Bryan Adams, Back to You. Number 12 is show a double or triple CD. So I'm going to show this. This is Derek and the Dominoes live at the Fillmore. It's a double CD. I bought this for my dad in the, I don't know, mid-90s. Remember buying it at the CD store that was in the University Center at the school that I went to. And I gave it to him as a gift. Since he passed, I took it, and it's in my collection. So Derek and the Dominoes, live at the Fillmore. This is my 2 CD set. Number 13 is to show a CD that looks like a record. So I've got both of these. These are the Beatles. This is the Capitol albums, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And Capitol did a pretty good job of recreating miniature album sleeves, so it just looks just like the vinyl and looks like the label of the record. Number 14, show a CD soundtrack. So I'm going to show this. This is That Thing You Do. This is the Tom Hanks movie from 1996 about a fictional one-hit wonder rock band. Amazing movie. I love it. This was supposed to be issued on vinyl. They did a test pressing of it back when the pandemic started, but it never ever happened. But I hope Mr. Hanks decides eventually to put it out on vinyl. It's a great soundtrack. Number 15, show a CD that comes with a book. So let me show this. This is the White Album Super Deluxe box set. And it is obviously a very large book. And then in the back, there are a bunch of CDs. So, my White Album Super Deluxe box set. Number 16, show a CD with a live recording. So this is Blue Rodeo's Blue Road. I talk about Blue Rodeo all the time. legendary country rock band from Toronto. This is a live disc that they put out in 2008, and it has a live acoustic set from their one of their shows at Massey Hall, and then there's a DVD documentary on here as well. It's actually, I'd say it's a very good acoustic set. Again, I wish this was on vinyl. Number 17, show a CD with weird, unconventional packaging. So I'm going to show this. This is the bands Across the Great Divide. It is a box set. Inside it is a book. And then there actually are 3 CDs. There's 2 in 1. This is an incredible CD collection that spans her entire career. A lot of unreleased stuff on here. Number 18, show your most expensive CD. This here is Grace Potter, Original Soul. It was her self-released solo debut from 2004 before she became part of Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. This was one of my holy grails for a very long time. This used to be incredibly expensive, like $100 easily. And then somehow someone's found a stash of them in England and keeps putting them up on eBay about every week. They're still pretty expensive, but not on the order of $100 like they used to be. So at one time, this was my most expensive CD. Number 19, show a CD from a local band or artist. I have tons of those because I'm such a huge fan of Canadian music. So I'm going to show this band here. This is Cuff the Duke. This is their final album, Union, from 2012. They're not broken up, they're on hiatus, they still play together live occasionally. I love Cuff the Duke. They're incredible. Officially, Cuff the Duke is from Oshawa, but most of the band lives around here. The drummer, AJ, and the keyboard player, Tom, live in the same city that I live in, and Wayne, the lead singer, lives 45 minutes away. So I would call this a local band, Cuff the Duke. And the last question, number 20, is to show a mini disc. I don't have a mini disc. I've never owned a mini disc. I don't know if I've ever even seen a mini disc, so I can't answer that question either. But there you go. That's Kostis's 2023 CD tag. I'll leave a link to his channel. I hope you enjoyed that. That's everything for me today, everybody. Catch you on the flip side. Bye.